myself Bhautik Trivedi, working as an assistant professor in IT/ICT department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In today's session of information and network security, I will explain you the concept of SHA. So SHA stands for Secure Hash Algorithm. So whenever you talk about the concept of the Secure Hash Algorithm, so the major parameters behind the Secure Hash Algorithm, that's the five. First one, that is known as a message digest size. Second one, that is known as a message size. Third one, that is known as a block size. Fourth one, that is known as a word size. And fifth one, that is the number of steps to achieve this particular thing. So if you talk about the concept of the secure hash algorithm, so first of all start with the first point. So what do you mean by message digest? All of you know, whenever you creating a message and whenever you pass the message to any particular hash function, so that is known as a h of m, and h of m can be treated as a message digest. So that is the first point. Second point, the length of the message means message size. Third one, which particular block, that's the block size. Fourth one, that is the word size. And fifth one, that is the number of steps to achieve this particular algorithm. So here you just see, if you categorize the secure hash algorithm into a different categories. So SHA generally divided into 5 categories. Category number 1, that is the SHA1. Then after the SHA2 to 4. After that SHA256, SHA384 and SHA512. So 5 categories of the secure hash algorithm, and each and every algorithm supported the different parameter. So start with the first one. If you talk about the concept of the SHA1, so SHA1 supported the message digest size, that is 160. So 160, that is the message digest size. And if you talk about the message size of the SHA1, so that is the less than 2 raised to 64. If you talk about the block size of SHA1, so that is the 512 bits, that is the block size of the SHA1. Word size, that is the 32. So 32 word size for the SHA1. And number of steps to achieve a particular algorithm output, so that is number of steps, that is 80. So this is all about the concept of the SHA1. After that, SHA224. Again, the major parameters, which one? 5 parameters for that. First one, that is the message digest size. Second one, that is the message size. Third one, that is the block size. Fourth one, that is the word size. And fifth one, that is the number of steps. So if you talk about the SHA224, so message digest size for the SHA224, that is the 224. After that, which particular message size supported by the SHA224? That is less than 2 raised to 64. If you talk about the block size, again the same concept. Block size, that is the 512. Word size, that is the 32. And number of steps, that is 64. Must remember one thing, if you comparing the SHA1 with the SHA224, the major difference is that is the number of steps. In SHA224 only supported the 64 steps, but in SHA1 that supported the 80 steps. After that, third one, that is the SHA256. Here I am directly giving the introduction related to SHA algorithms. But in your syllabus, only one algorithm in a detail, that is the SHA512. So currently talk about the SHA256. So what's the message size of the message digest size of the SHA256? That is the 256. Message size, again the same, that is less than 2 raised to 64. Block size, that is 512. Word size, that is 32. And number of steps, that is 64. So this is all about the SHA1, SHA224 and SHA256. After that, SHA384. So SHA384, that supported which particular message digest size? So that is 384. Message size, here that supported the length, that is 128. So that is less than 2 raised to 128. And block size, that is 1024. Word size, that is 64. And number of steps, that is 80. number of steps that can be considering as a number of round also. After that, SHA 512, that's the part of the syllabus. So SHA 512, the message digest size, that is 512. Message size, again that supported the 128 bits line, so that is less than 2 raised to 128. Block size, that is 1024. Word size, that is 64. And number of steps, that is 80. So this is all about the introductory session of the SHA all algorithm. But in your syllabus, only one topic in your syllabus, that is SHA 512. So what is the meaning of that? Fully concentrate on this particular figure. So first of all, you just see the concept of the message. So here the message that supported the L bit. So here this particular SHA 512 is generally divided into 5 steps. First steps, that is the append the padding. Second one, append the length. Third one, initializing the hash buffer. Fourth one, processing. And fifth one, that is the output. So whatever I discuss related to this, that's already in this particular diagram. So first of all, you just see message that supported the L bit. So then after 1 and after that all zeros, that is the part of the concept of the padding. And then after L, so what is the meaning of L? So L means that is the appending the length. So whenever you operate the step number 1 and 2, so in the diagram, whatever the row number 1, that directly demonstrate the step number 1 and 2. Again I repeat this, message, that's L bit. After that you append the padding. Then after you append the length. So that's all about the step number 1 and 2. After that, whatever the message, whatever the padding and whatever the length, that is directly divided into group of M1, M2 up to the Mn. Means must remember one thing, here you processing the 1024 bits and you directly retrieving the 512 bit as a output. Means whatever the processing that supported the 1024 bits processing and output as a message digest, and output as a message digest that supported the 512 bits of data. So first of all, message, then after the padding, then after the length is directly divided into the different message block. After that, applying the processing. Here you just see applying the processing on the particular individual block of message, but here using the concept of hash buffer. Why we use the hash buffer? And hash buffer generally supported the 64 bits of data. Means 64 cross 8 means if you take the any hash buffer, so that supported A to H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, means each and every register supported the 8 bits. So this is the logic of that. Means the most important, the heart of the SHA 512, that is this F. That is a one F function that supported the SHA 512. So how I generate the 512 bits? So in this particular diagram you just see, first of all I take the initialization vector IV is equal to H0, and from this it directly passed to the function F and it directly generating a H1. After that whatever the H1 I received, it directly passed to the next block and directly receiving the H2, and then after up to the last process, whatever the last HN, that again supported the 512 bits. So that's the message digest generation using the SHA 512. So this is SHA 512 message digest generation. After that, whatever I discussed, that is totally related to the block diagram. But here you just see what's the processing behind that. Means if I want to apply the single block processing in SHA 512, how I generate this? So that's the logic of that. So first of all of you know the concept of message. So whatever the message is there, it directly generating, it directly distributing according to the word wise. Means word 0, word 1, word 2 up to the word 79. And all of you know if you talk about the concept of SHA 512, so that's supporting the 80 rounds. 80 rounds means that start from the round 0 up to the round 79. After that, one initializing the hash buffer. So in this particular diagram, the concept of the hash buffer is that it supported the 512-bit hash buffer. Means that supporting around 8 to at least 8 buffer. So here you just see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and each and every supported the 64 bits. So first of all, initialize with the intermediate hash value that directly pass to the round 0. Round 0 processing, at that time you pass the W0 as an input, K0 as an input, and the hash buffer as an input. Whatever the output you generate, that is directly passed to the step number 2. Output of the step number 2, round number 2, directly passed to the input to the round 3. And output of the round 79 means that is the 18th round. So at that time, whatever the intermediate hash value, h of I minus 1, and whatever the output of the 80th round, that is directly XOR with that, and whatever the output you generate, that can be considering as a single block of output. So that's the logic of the SHA 512 processing of a single block. After that, this is the most important one. That's the typical one you directly say. What's the concept of the round function in SHA 512? And what's the logic behind that in SHA 512? So here you just see A to H, all of you know. Why? Because that supported the 512 bit. So 512 bit, that is divided into 8 blocks, means 64 bit, 64 bit, 64 bit. So that is start from the A up to the H. That is the, and at the bottom part again that is the A to H. So here you just see in this particular diagram, if I want to retrieving the value of A as an output, so what's the logic behind that? That is the T1 plus T2. But how I calculate the T1? Here you just see this is the logic of the T1 and T2. So what's the logic behind that? If I want to calculate the T1 and T2, so how I calculate this? So first of all, you just see in this particular diagram, here you just see that is the H plus, then after one function here, that is CH of E, F and G. So top of the diagram you just see E, F and G input directly passed to one CH function plus epsilon of 1 to 512 E, means at that time E is directly passed to the epsilon and generating a 1, plus WT plus KT, means whatever the output generate, that can be considering as a T1 only. So if I want to calculate T1, the formula is that in a diagram the right corner, that's the calculation of the T1. Here you just see that is the diagram for this. So H plus CH of E, F, G plus epsilon 1 to 512 E plus WT plus KT. After that I talk about the T2. So T2 means what? So left corner you just see at the top of the diagram. So if I want to calculate T2, epsilon of 0 to 512 A plus majority function of A, B, C. So this is the way you can calculate the T1 and T2. After calculating the T1 and T2, you directly applying the formula for A to H. A means what? So after that A is equal to T1 plus T2. So according to the diagram, that directly justify this thing. What's the value of B as an output? So B as an output means B is equal to previous of A. What's the output as a C? C is equal to as a previous of B. What's the output of D? D is equal to previous of C. What's the output of E? E is equal to D plus then after the T1. F is equal to what? F is equal to E. G is equal to what? G is equal to F. And H is equal to what? H is equal to G. So that's the concept for the SHA 512 round function. Means if you want to calculate the individual value for a SHA 512 round function, so that's the logic of that. Must remember one thing in this particular diagram. Mainly two important functions here. One, that is CH. In this CH you pass the E, F, G as an input, and second one, that is the majority function. At that time you pass the three input A, B and C, and with using this you can directly generating a T1 and T2, and then after you calculate the output buffer A up to the H. So that's the logic of the SHA 512 round function. So must remember one thing, if you talk about the concept of SHA 512, so mainly important four things. First of all, introduction of SHA 512. After that, different categories of the SHA 512. Then after, the block diagram of SHA 512. After that, after block diagram, you directly describing this thing with using the different processing. Then after, the final one, that is the SHA 512 round function. So that's all about the concept of the SHA 512. So thank you for watching.